Welcome you all students. Students, let us start with a chemistry lecture. Today is the fourth part or the fourth video of our topic number 12, that is chemical equilibrium. So today we will start with the topic that is link between chemical equilibrium and chemical kinetics. Now students, we have seen about chemical equilibrium, and now this chemical kinetics which we are going to study, this tells us about the speed of chemical reaction. Now as we all know, chemical equilibrium constant, that is Kc equals to Kf upon Kr. Now here Kc is the ratio of rate constant of forward reaction upon the rate constant of backward reaction, where this Kf and Kr are also called velocity or rate constant, that is speed constant of the forward and reverse reaction respectively. Now this equation can be used to determine the composition of reaction mixture. Now let us see about the following, that is relation between Kf and Kr. Now students, see the graph over here or the chart over here. Now here you can see Kf is greater than Kr. So we know Kc equals to Kf upon Kr, that is if numerator is more, that is Kf is more than Kc, then the equilibrium constant is more and the reaction will be in forward direction. Therefore Kc is very large. Therefore reaction goes almost to completion. Now if Kf, that is the constant of forward reaction, is much larger than Kr, the reaction may be irreversible. Now reverse reaction which is there, it is slow, that means it is too slow to be detected. Now if Kf, that is constant of forward reaction, is much larger than Kr, that is constant of the reverse reaction, then reaction will go in one direction. Now see the other part of the chart over here. If Kf is equal to Kr, that is if the rate of constant of the forward reaction is equal to the rate constant for reverse or backward reaction, then Kf and Kr have comparable values. Therefore Kc is nearly 1. Reaction never goes to completion. So over here the reaction will never go to completion. This means that the forward reaction and the backward reaction goes on with the same speed and reaction will never goes to completion. Comparable concentration of reactant and product are present at the equilibrium. So at equilibrium reaction, that is in the equilibrium reaction, the reactant and the product are present and they are comparable. Now if equilibrium shift in the forward direction, then reactant will form the product. If equilibrium shift in the backward direction, this reaction moves in the backward direction and product will form the reactant. So the product will form the reactant. Now let us see with one example. Now here we'll see one problem over here. If the equilibrium constant Kc for the reaction of hydrogen with iodine is 54 at 700 Kelvin. Now see the reaction. H2 gas reacts with I2 gas, reversibly giving you 2Hi. Now Kf, it is the rate constant for forward reaction, and Kr is the rate constant for backward reaction. Now students, here the stoichiometric coefficient of hydrogen, that is H, is 1, and for iodine, that is I, the stoichiometric coefficient is 1, and that of Hi is 2. Therefore, when we calculate delta N, that is Np minus Nr, that will be equal to 0. Now here it is given Kc equals to 54 at 700 Kelvin. Now if Kf is the rate constant for the formation of Hi and Kr is the rate constant for decomposition of Hi. Now here we have to deduce whether Kf is larger or smaller than Kr. Now as we know that Kc, that is equilibrium constant, equals to Kf upon Kr, which is 54, it is given over there. Then Kf is greater than Kr by the factor of 54. Next, if the value of Kr, that is rate constant for the decomposition of Hi, hydrogen iodide, at 700 Kelvin is 1.16 into 10 raised to minus 3. Then we have to calculate what is Kf, that is the rate constant for formation of Hi, that is rate constant for formation of hydrogen iodide. Now students, as we know, we can calculate the value, that is Kf equals to Kc into Kr, which will be equal to 54 into 1.16 into 10 raised to minus 3, which is given, and that multiplication, after multiplication you will get the answer 62.64 into 10 raised to minus 3. Now let us move further and see to a important topic over here. Now we'll see over here about Le-Chatter's principle and the factor altering the composition at equilibrium. Now students, till now we have seen that a reaction attains a state of equilibrium under a certain set of conditions, and these conditions can be temperature, pressure, concentration and catalyst. Now if we add more reactant, the system will react to remove it, and if the product is removed, the system will react to replenish it. Now under these change conditions, new equilibrium will be established with different composition from the either equilibrium mixture. Here the principal goal of chemical synthesis is to achieve maximum conversion of reactant to product. Means we want maximum of the reactant to be converted into product with minimum expenditure of energy. So to achieve the goal of maximum conversion of reactant to product with minimum or less expenditure or utility of energy, the reaction condition must be adjusted. Now in Le-Chatter's principle, the quantitative effect of various factors on the composition of equilibrium mixture are described. Now, if stress is applied to the reaction mixture at equilibrium, then the reaction occurs in the direction which relieves the stress. Now, this stress means that can be any change in concentration, pressure, volume or temperature. Now, here the direction that the reaction takes, that is whether it is a forward reaction or a backward reaction, is to reduce the stress. Now students, let us see with an example that if the concentration of reactant is increased, the reaction goes in a direction that tends to decrease the concentration, that is in the direction of the forward reaction. Now with this we will see about the Le-Chatelier's principle. What it states? It states that when a system at equilibrium is subjected to a change in any of the factors determining the equilibrium condition, system will respond in such a way as to minimize the effect of the change. Now students, we will see about the Le-Chatelier's principle with various examples and various factors. Now let us see about the factors which are affecting the equilibrium. Now these factors are stated by Le-Chatelier in his statement, and what he says about that the factors which affect the equilibrium, they are as follows. Now first is change in the concentration. Now here consider this example of nitrogen reacting with hydrogen and reversibly giving ammonia, that is NH3. Now see the equation over here. N2 gas reacts with thrice of hydrogen gas, reversibly giving you twice of ammonia, that is NH3 in the gaseous state, and liberation of heat is there. As the heat is liberated or given out, it is an exothermic reaction. Now here iron with small quantity of molybdenum act as a catalyst in this reaction. Now here delta N, which will be Np minus Nr, that is number of moles of product minus the number of moles of reactant. So you will get 2 minus 4, that will be minus 2. So in this reaction the delta N, that heat which is liberated over here, the delta N which is there, that will be minus 2. Now at equilibrium QC will be equal to Kc, that is concentration of NH3 raised to stoichiometric coefficient 2 upon concentration of N2, its coefficient, its stoichiometric coefficient is 1, and concentration of H2 with stoichiometric coefficient 3. Now here different stages are there. Now in the first stage, system is at equilibrium. So in the following reaction when it is carried out, at the second stage equilibrium is disturbed by making QC will be changing and QC will be less than Kc by adding hydrogen. Now here Kc will never change as it depends only on the temperature. Since we added extra H2 to the system, then the system is no longer at the equilibrium. Now at the third stage, add H2. Added H2 is to be used up and converted to more of ammonia. Hence, forward reaction is favored. Now here, H2 reacts with N2 and gives ammonia, that is NH3. Now in fourth stage, new state of equilibrium is established and the system responds to restore equilibrium position. Now here, according to the Le Chatelier's principle, the effect of addition of hydrogen or nitrogen or both is reduced by shifting the equilibrium from left to right, so that the addition N2 or H2 is consumed. The forward reaction occurs to a large extent than the reverse reaction until the new equilibrium is established, and this results in increase in the yield of ammonia, that is NH3. Now if the reactant is increased, then product will also increase. Now if the concentration of reactant is increased, the reaction goes in the forward direction, and if the concentration of product is increased, the reaction will go in the backward direction. Now next we will see about the next factor, that is effect of pressure. Now students, we are well aware of the ideal gas equation, that is PV equals to nRT. Now pressure at constant temperature gives, so here we have the equation PV equals to nRT, and so if we calculate the value for P, it will be equal to RT into N by V. Therefore, P is directly proportional to N upon V. Now this ratio N by V which is there is an expression for the concentration of gas in mole per dm cube. With the change in the pressure, we will see about what is change in the color, as we see in this reaction over here. Now see the reaction which is given, N2O4, which is in the gaseous state. It reversibly gives twice of NO2 in the gaseous stage, that is dinitrogenous tetroxide, that is colorless gas. It reversibly gives nitrogen dioxide, which is brown gas. Now this reaction which is there, it is set in a sealed flask at a particular temperature. Now the effect of change of pressure on the gas and on the gaseous equilibrium can be observed by observing the change in the color intensity. Now let us see about the change in the color intensity. Suppose there is a change in pressure, change in the color intensity, and shifting in the equilibrium position. Now the first point we will see, that is decrease in the pressure. If the pressure is decreased, then the color deepens, that means the color will be deep in color, and to the right side the equilibrium will shift to the right side, that is to the product side with more molecules. Now if there is an increase in pressure, then what will happen to the color intensity? The color lightens to almost colorless. Now the equilibrium position will shift to the left, that is to the reactant side with few molecules. Now in reversible reaction, the forward reaction takes place with increase in the number of molecules, but the reverse reaction or the backward reaction takes place with decrease in the number of molecules. Now let us see one more example. The second example you can see over here. You have H2 gas reacting with I2 gas, giving you 2 of HI gas. Now hydrogen reacts with iodine and you get the formation of hydrogen iodide. Now in this reaction, see the number of molecules in the reactant and product. Here the same number of molecules of gases on both the sides. So here change of pressure has no effect on the equilibrium. The number of molecules of reactant is same as that of the number of molecules of the product in the reaction which is given above. Now change in the pressure has no effect on the equilibrium. Now let us see about the next factor. The next factor is effect of temperature. Now here see one more example. Now see the reversible reaction. The reaction is at equilibrium. So the reaction is at equilibrium reaction. Now you have over here PCl5 which is in the gaseous state, reversibly giving you PCl3 in the gaseous state plus Cl2 gas, and the heat liberated is about 92.5 kilojoules. Now here the forward reaction is exothermic and the reverse reaction will be endothermic. So exothermic means heat is given out and endothermic means heat is taken in. Now here increase in temperature results in shifting the equilibrium in the reverse direction so that the added heat can be used up and the heat energy is converted into chemical energy. Now here the effect of change of temperature on the equilibrium constant. Now see the reaction which is given over here. CO gas reacting with twice of H2 gas, reversibly giving you CH3OH gas, and heat is liberated. Same way here the reaction is exothermic and the heat which is liberated over here is about minus 90 kilojoules per mole. Now here Kc, that is equilibrium constant, that will be concentration of CH3OH gas upon concentration of CO gas into concentration of H2 gas raised to stoichiometric coefficient of H2, that is 2. Now see the table which is there. Now this table shows the equilibrium constant Kc at various temperature. Now see the temperature which is given in Kelvin and you have the value for Kc. Now if the temperature is 298 Kelvin, then the value for Kc will be 1.7 into 10 raised to 17. If the temperature is raised to 500, then Kc value will be 1.1 into 10 raised to 11. And if the temperature is raised to 1000 Kelvin, then the value for Kc will be 2.1 into 10 raised to 6. Now here, according to Le-Chatelier's principle, an increase in the temperature shifts the position of equilibrium to the left. Now if we apply the Le-Chatelier's principle to the above equation, we will see that the concentration of CH3OH gas decreases, the concentration of CO2 gas and H2 gas increases, and the value of Kc decreases as the temperature is increased. Now we'll see about the next factor. The next factor is about the effect of catalyst. Now students, as we know that catalysts are used to increase the speed of reaction, but catalysts itself do not take part in the chemical reaction. So the rate of chemical reaction increases with the use of catalyst. Now consider following reaction. It's an esterification reaction. Now you have CH3COOH, that is in the liquid state, that is ethonic acid. It is reacting with C2H5OH in the liquid state, that is ethanol, and this reaction reversibly gives CH3COOH COO C2H5, that is ethyl ethonate, that is an ester plus water. Now if this reaction will be carried out without catalyst, it will have taken many days to reach equilibrium. But if catalyst is used, the reaction takes place fast and the equilibrium is attained in few hours. Now here a catalyst does not affect equilibrium constant and equilibrium composition of a reaction mixture. A catalyst does not appear in the balanced chemical equation and in the equilibrium constant expression. Now students, let us summarize the effect of concentration, pressure, temperature and catalyst on position of equilibrium and value of Kc. Now see the chart over here. Effect of concentration, pressure, temperature and catalyst, that we'll see over here. Now effect of concentration on the position of equilibrium, it changes, and the value of Kc, there is no change. Now with the effect of pressure, the position of equilibrium changes if the reaction involves change in number of gas molecules, and value of Kc will not change. So no change in the value of Kc. Now when talk about the effect of temperature, then the position of equilibrium changes and the value of Kc also changes. Now when we talk about the effect of catalyst, then the position of equilibrium, there is no change, and the value of Kc, there will be no change. Now students, we'll consider more example of considering the de Chatelier's principle. Now consider one more example. This we are very familiar with, that is the Haber's process, which is used in making of ammonia. You have N2 reacting with 3 molecules of H2, that is nitrogen, reacting with hydrogen, reversibly giving you twice of NH3, that is ammonia. Now here N2 and H2 in 1:3, they will react by volume, and this reacts at a temperature of 450 degrees Celsius and 200 atmosphere, and iron as a catalyst, giving you ammonia gas, which is to get ammonia in the liquid state. So here we get the ammonia in the liquid state. Now next we will see about is the industrial application. So students, suppose if we take the same example of Haber's process. So for industrial preparation of ammonia, that is NH3. Now if we talk about the industrial values, we'll come to know that in industries we want to have more of production of ammonia, and this reaction which is there has to be more profitable by applying ideas of rate of reaction and equilibrium. Now suppose in the industrial preparation we use the same example for preparation of ammonia, that is by the Haber's process, that is N2 gas reacting with thrice of H2 gas, reversibly giving you twice of NH3 in the gaseous state plus heat. Now here hydrogen gas and nitrogen gas in a particular stoichiometric ratio by volume and at selected optimum temperature reacts together to give ammonia gas by the Haber's process. The reaction proceeds with a decrease in number of moles, that is delta N will be equal to -2. The forward reaction is exothermic. Now here iron containing a small quantity of molybdenum, it is used as a catalyst. Now for the same reaction, that is for the Haber's process in the preparation of ammonia, we'll see what is the effect of temperature. Now here the reaction is exothermic. Now lowering the temperature, this will shift the equilibrium to the right and longer time will be required to attain the equilibrium. Now at higher temperature the reaction occurs rapidly with appreciable decomposition of ammonia. So ammonia will reversibly give H2 and N2 back, that is hydrogen and nitrogen back. So the optimum temperature for preparation of ammonia is about 773 Kelvin. Now let us see about the effect of pressure on the same reaction, that is on the preparation of ammonia using Haber's process. Now here higher pressure favors forward reaction. So reactant will form the product, and decrease in number of moles of reactant. But if the pressure becomes very high, then the used catalyst become inefficient. Therefore, the optimum pressure for preparation of ammonia is about 250 atmosphere. So students, with this we come to the end of our chapter number 12, that is chemical equilibrium. Students, when you are studying this chapter, go through all the 4 parts of the videos on this chapter for your better understanding. Study well and best of luck for your exam. Thank you.